Good day to you. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you for stopping by. This is Hezward View, and I just wanted to share something with you that I saw, and I'm thinking, Lord, I've actually done a video. This is a different findings and what people are saying, especially for those of us who use synthetic hair to braid hair, or you use a kind of wig and all of that. And it's so important that we know what is going on, so we can make an intelligent decision if we want to continue on that lane using synthetic hair, or how often we use it, or how long it should stay on our head. Yeah, because of the findings of the chemicals that is causing so many things, so different kind of illnesses that comes with those chemicals. So it's important that you take time and think about it. So if you, I would say personally, if you do your hair very often with synthetic or through the year, you're always on it, you have to think about reducing how often you use your synthetic hair or use wig. If you have natural hair, find a way to make it work sometimes. So if the synthetic hair could be used now and again, not like something we always do because it's very easy to maintain. You don't have to do your hair for the next 6 weeks and more. If you once you take that out, you put it back again, you all of that stuff. You're not using that, you're putting on wigs. We have to rethink because this some of these manufacturers, they after their money. They're not thinking for us. They're not thinking for us at all. They want their money, period. It's like you on your own, you decide what you eat, or what you eat. So you decide what you put on your hair. It's on you to decide that. So I'm going to play this video, and I want you to let me know what you think about it. Leave us a comment if you have changed from using be relaxing your hair. You change from using this synthetic to braids. Let me know. If you're not going to change, you're going to stay on it. That's it. For even before I show you the video, I wonder who introduced this to us. I haven't actually done that research at all. It just occurred to me. Who introduced the synthetic to us and the wig? You know, I remember when I was very young, a little girl, during Christmas, my mom used to buy me wig to use for Christmas. I wonder how it came about, how long it's been, in our society. I'm going to check on it. If you know, please leave me a comment. Let me know what you know. Well, let's go and watch it.
Worn by millions of women right across Africa, sold around the world from Lagos to Nairobi and Johannesburg to right here in Berlin. I'm talking about braids and synthetic hair extensions, but just how safe are they? Well, a recent study from the U.S. is the latest to raise concerns, claiming to have detected cancer-causing agents in 100% of the products tested, including in brands widely available across Africa. South Africa's National Consumer Protection Agency has now told DW News Africa that it plans to carry out its own testing on products sold there. We'll hear from them shortly, but first, more details on that U.S. investigation.
Imagine having natural hair that is constantly judged. As a black woman myself, I know a thing or two about the struggles that black women face. Maintaining an afro is a difficult task, and so many women resort to going for braids. But synthetic hair is generally woven into braids to make them longer, fuller and more stable. And that, as it turns out, could pose a problem. Consumer Reports is a US-based nonprofit that works to inform consumers about the quality and authenticity of goods and services sold in the country. And it recently uncovered a potential danger to black women in America. The organization tested 10 popular brands of synthetic hair products and found they contained heavy metals and volatile organic compounds.
We found a number of the samples had cadmium, but at low levels. But 9 out of the 10 products had lead, and the lead was at a concentration that concerned us.
Consumer Reports also found benzene, an aggressive chemical that is regulated in the United States because it's been closely linked to cancer. But how exactly do these chemicals enter the body?
One is oral. So between you're handling it, it's brittle, it's on your hands, you touch your mouth, you eat your meals, etc. That's one. Another one is called dermal or transdermal, where the hair is laying on the skin and heat, humidity, etc., can cause, for instance, lead to migrate from that product into your skin. And then there's inhalation.
The testing was built on a commentary by Crystal Thomas, a student at the Albert Einstein College of Medicine in New York. She went to a stylist to have her braids done using a popular brand of synthetic hair. Then, things grew very unpleasant.
I had trouble breathing. I realized my throat was tightening up, and it got so bad that I would get up in the middle of the night and wash my hair multiple times.
Experiencing constant discomfort, she removed the braids and set out to research possible health issues tied to braiding hair as part of her public health coursework.
After learning what ingredients are in braids, I thought, okay, I don't want to just keep this as coursework. I want to take this to the next level and publish it in a commentary to have more research into this area, because I want a conversation about this now.
The study has had an impact across the country.
But with all this stuff coming out, I feel like I need to embrace my natural hair more so that I could just stray away from all of this chemical stuff.
Do you think that this, at one point in time, will impact black women, even in the workplace, or black women who have no time to do their hair?
I think it already is. It's already happening. It's why the study probably was done in the first place, because somebody noticed that something was wrong. Maybe they noticed that their hair was itchy whenever they got braids, or they started to break out whenever their hair touched their face or their body.
We definitely need to do more research. I feel like we're a group that's been overlooked, or maybe not as researched or studied, because we're not as valued in the same way in some spaces. And so I don't know that we know all there is to know. But at the same time, I have the synthetic hair, and it's easier for me to maintain my hair this way. So I don't know that I'm going to stop tomorrow.
In the way
I had an experience, just like the lady was saying, when I did my hair some time ago. Once the attachment or the synthetic braid touched my skin, I just started to itch. I just started to itch. I was wondering, I've never experienced this before. Why am I itchy? And once it touched the side of my face and my neck, so for the period I was able to keep it, I had to always put it in a ponytail, just rub it out and just tie it there. Use that scarf or something just to hold it down, or so that I don't have to touch it, don't drop off and touch my skin. I never even thought about anything chemical. I just wondered what kind of hair was this. Maybe it wasn't just agreeing with my skin, and that was it. I never took time to research on it. I never talked to anybody about it until all of this is coming out. So we have to do something about it for ourselves, And it's so sad for what the lady that just spoke, thinking, okay, we are not on the top list, or for them to even think about doing research to check on this. Thank God for grace. That makes one strong from within and don't feel, oh, I'm less. No, we're just as awesome as God is. That's all I can say here.
Sake of the study, many black women in America are now embracing plant-based alternatives.
So for our material, the very first step in the process is a plant, right? It could be sugarcane, cassava, sugar beets, corn, right? That is the very first step of the process. You harvest that. With the synthetic hair that we have been using for decades on the market, the very first step is drilling a hole into the ground to extract oil.
For many black women, braids made from synthetic hair have been a popular choice. However, the new research raises doubts about whether they will continue using it in the future.
Thank you. So what do people an ocean away in South Africa make of this? And are they worried that their braids might be causing them harm? DW's Diane Hawker visited salons in Johannesburg to find out.
Hair salons like these are a staple across South Africa. We've come here to find out what hairstylists know about the chemicals in synthetic hair and the alternatives. You've got quite a lot of variety of hair products here. What did you say is most popular amongst your clients?
The most popular hairstyle is braids. Yeah, braids with curls. As you can see, we have the hairpiece here and the curly hairpiece. That's the most popular hairstyle people they want.
So recently there's been some research that revealed that there are some dangerous chemicals in a number of synthetic hair products. Is that something that you are concerned about or that your customers should be concerned about?
Oh, no.
Oh no, I have never really thought about that.
As a hairstylist, what do you think you need to know when it comes to these hair products?
I need to know the chemicals that are being used in things like relaxers and hair pieces, because some of my clients, they have sensitive skin.
We asked another hairstylist about the findings, and she said there really isn't much information available.
Yes, I
just want to say something here. The lady, the owner, the hairdresser that she just left her salon, she is not really bothered because that's where she make her money. That's where she take care of herself, maybe and her family. So she's not like saying, you know what, I'm gonna go check on it. I'm gonna go investigate for myself and see what I can do to help to protect myself and my clients. Nothing like that. Like we don't bother about it. I only think about those ones that are sensitive hair, and that's it. And also I would have asked a question like, or maybe if she was told what the effects are, like the cancer or the different diabetics or like increase in black people's infertility, all of that. If she was told some of this side effect, it's possible she would, oh wow, I didn't know that. I have to do something about it. So I believe when people need to know the side effect, they need to know what the side effects are. That could help them make intelligent decision or prompt them to go search for themselves, make investigation about, okay, let me dig a little bit here and know what to do. They need to let them know what the side effects are. Because that's what we catch at the attention of. If just, oh, you want to do the hair? No, not everybody is even listening to the news. Not everybody is reading about it. So if they know what the side effects are, because people want to protect themselves, they will do something about it. Some people will.
believe people, if we are being more educated about it, will consider it and find out what is there and what is it going to damage with us. But I believe the synthetic hair we use here in Africa is good for our hair because we never had problems, we never had issues.
So we also know that there are some options available on the table, obviously natural hair, but there are also some plant-based products coming into the picture. Do you think that South African customers would be interested in trying these products out?
I think we'll give it a try, and also I think the clients also give it a try because it's also made out of natural plants. So it will be good with us, so we'll consider it.
Human hair is the main alternative for braiding in many African countries, but it does come at a higher cost, and that makes it less attractive as compared to synthetic hair, particularly for those on a budget.
From Johannesburg, I'm now joined by Prudence Moilwa, Head of Complaints and Investigations at the National Consumer Commission in South Africa. Prudence, are you aware of the investigation done in the U.S., and to what extent are you concerned about the hair brands tested in that investigation, some of which are also sold right there in South Africa?
Yeah, no, thank you very much for having us. The National Consumer Commission has just recently become aware of this. And we're very concerned about just the safety of consumers. Because as you may be aware, hair braids and, synthetic hair is widely used also in South Africa and I think throughout the continent in order to enhance, aesthetics of women in the main. And And I think the concern is just the risks that are involved. So we actually have noted this, and we're still internally within the National Consumer Commission thinking of how we can then proceed to take this on.
I know it's early days, as they say, but do you plan to test those brands or any other hair brands sold in South Africa?
Yeah. Look, usually what we do, especially when a product that is widely sold and maybe it is distributed or imported from other countries, the first thing that we do is we engage with the manufacturers. So as you correctly indicate, there is an identifiable brand name on the packaging, and the Commission will then have to engage the not only the importers but also the manufacturers, just to also engage them on the allegations that have been made. Because from the news report, we can then see that the rights groups or the rights group is the one that actually tested the product and made these findings. So it's very important to verify this information, talk to the manufacturers, and see how we can then proceed.
Okay, so it sounds that you're planning to be actively, very proactive, I should say, about this issue. You've already made it very clear that these products are popular in South Africa. But give us some perspective. Just how big a problem do you think this could be?
Looking at the fact that every other person uses synthetic hair, right? And they're widely supplied, even in our own country. I mean, I know of a place in Johannesburg where literally they are widely sold in a big establishment wherein people go out there to sell hair. And I think when we want to then test, that is the first place wherein we will have to then do the samples.
All of that raises the question, are these hair products regulated in any way, and how difficult is it to do so?
Yeah, it's not widely regulated, but I can tell you now that in terms of the Consumer Protection Act, as and when you sell products in the marketplace, they have to be safe. So it raises an obligation to the suppliers to make sure that the products that they sell are tested, as well as ensuring that they are safe.
Prudence, you say that it is not widely regulated. What exactly does that mean? Is there some regulation? Yeah. Is there any regulation?
Yeah, well, the hair, we might need to just inquire from the Department of Health here in South Africa, as well as the National Regulator of Compulsory Standards. And just to also look at the South African Bureau of Standards to check if there are any other standards that are there. As you said, it's still early days. We will need to engage with all the other regulators to see if there are standards. But what I know is the kind of steps that it takes to get to synthetic hair is very loose. It's not that it's difficult for you to have access. Even as an ordinary consumer can go anywhere and access this without any requirement of any kind of checkings and control.
Okay, this is at least for consumers, I think safe to say, uncharted territory, particularly when it deals with this particular product. In the meantime, what should consumers do in Africa going forward?
Yeah, I think, just the best practices of handling products, making sure that the products that you buy are properly packaged, making sure that you check just with regard to the look and feel of the product, whether it is what you would usually expect in an ordinary product, and also the washing of hands, just, in terms of making sure that even when you install this hair onto your hair, that, just normal health, practices I then do. The person will then need to wash their hands, use proper shampoo and stuff like that.
Okay, that's Prudence Moilwa, Head of Complaints and Investigations at the National Consumer Commission in South Africa. Deep thanks to you.
Thank you.
What do you think about her recommendation? I think I would have just she think there's no recommendation there. I mean, I don't know what she was trying to recommend. That wash your hands, shampoo your hair. It has nothing to do with that. It has something to do with the chemicals that are used, by the manufacturers. And then she talked about talking to the manufacturer. Okay, what do you talk to them about? I hope what you're sending over to my country is all safe, yeah? And the manufacturer is going to say, no, they're not safe. I just want to send it to your country and kill every one of you that uses it. No, they're not going to say that. They're not going to say that. Oh, I'm sending it to your country. It's not safe, but I'm going to send it anyway. Whatever happens. No, they're gonna say, of course, ma'am. We're sending you the best. We're gonna send. Well, everything is checked out. We use the right chemical. The health of our client is our number one, focus and all of that. They're not gonna tell you anything else. It's either you travel to the factory where it's made, and then you check the samples or see how they make it, what it goes through, what. You either go as coming from the commissioner of health, or you go in as undercover agent to just see what it's all about. Like she said, go to the store, where she know that people go to buy all the time, get some samples, and they have to test it out and see what is there. Those are the only way. What you can tell the people is be careful how often you use it. I think that's it. If you can do it without it, do without it, and take care of your natural hair. That would have been the best. The toxic chemicals that are being used is not healthy for us. It's not healthy for people. It's not healthy for humans. I watched a video of how they use it's a plant-based hair. They use plantain leaf or banana leaf, something like that, or the trunk of it to do the hair, which is good. But they still have to use chemicals to bring the texture to where it's soft and beautiful, you know, because once they go through some process, it's still rough. It's still rough. It doesn't look silky or anything like that. So they have to take it through chemical. I'm not sure because she did that video. She didn't actually explain if the chemical she uses is healthy or plant-based or protective. I don't know. She didn't say nothing. I'm gonna go back, maybe leave a comment and just see how maybe she might respond to my comment. Anyway, thank you for watching. You've heard for yourself. Please share, like, click the notification button so when we're on, you'll be notified. Please share with people that do their hair or wear wigs a lot. Share. Please, just to give information, pass the information on, and let everyone make intelligent decisions, based on their health. They talk about causing cancer. Or the video that I had posted earlier talk about diabetes, talk about infertility, talk about different. There's some chemicals that was found on some people that had cancer in the lining of their in their lining, something in their in that was found rather. So, and those chemicals is part of the chemicals that are used, in the processing of this hair and wigs. So please pass it on. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.